So teach me now that things can only get better, can only get better. Now I found you.
Hello everyone, Darth Vegan here, and welcome back to another general election prediction. This time, week 4 of the campaign. Indeed, we have done 3 weeks, and there's 3 weeks to go. And, yeah. Of course, this week was, Manifesto week. So, it was... Definitely the YouGov polls have been interesting. Definitely. Showing support moving away from Labour and the Conservatives to Reform and the Lib Dems, even Reform overtaking the Conservatives on one particular poll, which is interesting to say the least. Anyway, so, yeah, but the aggregate is suggesting Tories on 21.9%, basically 22. Predicted seats 80, Labour 41.4 on 461. Still, a stonking majority, if slightly reduced from last week. 10.8 for the Lib Dems on 63 seats. 14.8 for Reform UK with their 1 seat. 5.6 for the Greens, 2 seats. 3.5% for the SNP, 20 seats. And 0.7 for Plaid Cymru with their 3 seats. And there are a couple of independents. I'm going to guess Jeremy Corbyn and George Galloway. Hope you see this. Is that one going from DUP to UP as well? From the last election. So, yeah. Like I said, going from Labour and the Conservatives to Reform and the Lib Dems. So anyway, let me get up the map. And yes, so let me just move to this. Actually, I'll put it in independent as well. Actually, there's 2 independents, is there? Right. Yeah. Okay, okie dokie. So, actually, I'm gonna start off in Northern Ireland, UP, gaining that from the DUP, and then the rest is the same as the last election in Northern Ireland. So, yeah, that's it. Suppose at this point you're very used to seeing that map of Northern Ireland because it doesn't seem to be changing a great deal. But I know I am definitely used to seeing that Northern Ireland map. So anyway, Scotland with the Lib Dems and Orkney and Shetland and Kit as long as yours. East 5. Edinburgh, North West. I do realise I said Glasgow last time. Forget I ever said that. Mid and Bartonshire. And then the Conservatives, they're 1 seat in Berwickshire, Roxburgh, and Selkirk. And that's it for the Tories in Scotland. Because the SNP are set to gain all this. They have definitely improved things for themselves in the past week. Definitely. Yeah. I wonder how much of that is to do with the manifestos and how much is that is to do with the debate performances. But yeah. So SNP was 20 there. And then Labour just fitting in now. In the seats you'd expect them to pick up, plus the sort of southwestern region of Scotland.
Oh god, that's annoying.
So yeah, anyway, moving on to Wales, with the Conservatives in Montgomeryshire and Glyndŵr, in Brecon Round and Combe Tower, and in Monmouthshire, which 1 or 2 weeks ago I'm pretty sure was the first time we saw that remaining blue. Yeah, obviously things are not looking too well for Labour in Wales at the moment, with obviously the confidence vote against Vaughan Gething. And but yeah, obviously the still they're so yeah, they're not going to resign the Tories to one seat, it doesn't seem, in Wales, but they're obviously going to make gains in, the sort of north and Pembrokeshire and Glamorgan, Bridgend, but I do not mean to do that. So yes, this map does have Northamptonshire North remaining Conservative, as well as Prime Minister seat in Richmond Northallerton, Thurscombe Woolton, which last week for some reason was showing red, but and in Wetherby, and in Brigham and Immingham. So yes, we also have our first of the independents, George Galloway in Rochdale, which I'm gonna guess is George Galloway. And then obviously Lib Dems in Westmoreland and Lonsdale, in Cheadle Hazel Grove and Sheffield Hallam. And in Harrogate Knaresborough. And the rest is showing quite red. So yes, indeed, time-lapse time. Except, of course, for the Speaker's seat in Chorley. Forgot about that one. Because this map doesn't actually show it, but yeah. So that's the North Culloden. And, yeah. Oh, by the way, I do have a coffee. I'm having a coffee. When I forgot the name of Westmoreland and Lonsdale, I was like, so, yeah, no, I feel quite tired. I mean, yes, it is 6 p.m, but I'm going out drinking with me mates in an hour's time, so. The beer will get the energy levels down. So, yeah. In the Midlands, Lib Dems with North Shropshire. The one they picked up in the by-election. And Tories in a bunch of these places. Including South Staffordshire. And then Lichfield. And then also Aldridge Brownhills, Sutton Coldfield, Bromsgrove, in Southern, and then in Stratford-upon-Avon, and Solihull. And then Labour in Telford, the Wrekin, Shrewsbury, the entire north of Staffordshire plus Cannock Chase, Tamworth, a lot of Warwickshire there, plus Coventry, and of course, Birmingham and the Black Country as well. Well, most of Birmingham Black Country, shall I say. And then these last few. Then yep. South Leicestershire, Rutland and Stamford, Daventry, South Northamptonshire, South Holland and the Deepings, these two, in Louth and Horncastle and Sleaford and North Hykeham. And then Labour, is it? Yep, apparently it's the rest of it. I've kind of figured out the reason why that Boston and Skegness was showing red last time. That's because there is obviously a Reform UK challenger splitting the right-wing vote. And you might recognise it. Richard Tice, former leader of Reform UK, before, obviously, the Farage coup, effectively. But yeah, basically Labour retaining their seat there in Wellingborough. And obviously, Sweetman, Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire. Yeah. Then we move over to East Anglia, and talking of Farage, he's set to win in Clacton. And then Liberal Democrats are set to win Norfolk. these places in Cambridgeshire, the sort of south of Cambridgeshire, excluding Cambridge, the city of Cambridge itself, which is going to go Labour, or remain Labour, shall I say. And the Tories are now set to retain one seat in Hertfordshire. That is Broxbourne. And obviously, quite a lot of Essex is also remain Conservative. I think that was the reason why Clacton was showing Labour before. Obviously, the Reform UK split. But indeed, Farage is set to actually win that now. He's standing in the area, and I forgot. No, this one is Labour. Got a bit muddled up there. Oh, and Chelmsford is Lib Dem. But yeah. Oh, I beg your pardon. There's a couple in Hertfordshire. Set to be won by the Lib Dems as well, of course. St Albans. Yeah. Conservatives there. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm a bit confused right now. So yeah, Mid Norfolk, Mid Suffolk and North Ipswich, Waveney Valley. Those are Conservative, but looks like Liz Truss will be out, so is Torres Coffey, and everyone else in between. So yeah, that's it for the East. We move into London, where the Tories are set to hold on to Old Bexley and Sidcup and Orpington. Obviously, there is an independent standing in North Islington. Obviously, former leader of the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, now no longer even a member of the Labour Party, but he is standing anyway, and it's saying he will win the seat. Lib Dems in that sort of corner of London, and Labour everywhere else. I think it's crazy that you can, lead a party like in one election and then in the next you're not even part of it. I find that wild. But such is how Keir Starmer likes to run the Labour Party, so even if he does frame it as an independent decision, I'm not going to comment on whether I think it is or not, but I'll let you be the judge of that one. Yeah, most of Kent being swept up by Labour there. Tunbridge Wells, Lib Dem. Tories holding on to these three. And Tunbridge, Sevenoaks, and the Weald of Kent. And then in Sussex, Greens, obviously Brighton Pavilion. when no, Caroline Lucas will not be the next MP there because she's standing down. But yep, Labour in Crawley, in Hastings, Bexon and Battle, and stretching down the coast here, and obviously there that holds in Brighton. So yeah, Worthing, Bognor Regis as well. Conservatives in these four. I think Chichester was showing Lib Dem like last week or something. But yeah. And then Lib Dems in these four, including Horsham, Eastbourne, Lou, and in Mid Sussex. So then we move on to Surrey, where this very Conservative county is going to return 3 Conservative MPs. So, well, that's what it's saying, at least. Spelthorne for Labour there. And the rest of this is Lib Dem. So, yeah. Not the former seat of the former Prime Minister Theresa May, no. I beg your pardon. But yeah. The Lib Dems, I suppose it's sort of one of those areas, right, where you kind of have people who never vote Labour but are just annoyed at the Tories. But yeah. And got Bucks, Berks and Oxfordshire. And it's saying Tories will be returned in only 4 constituencies. That's Witney with Buckinghamshire, Maidenhead and Beaconsfield. And then Labour. Yep. In a bunch of these. Wycombe, Banbury. In Bracknell. Then the Lib Dems in the rest of these. Yep. Oh, that's the majority of the seats in Oxfordshire being swept off by the Lib Dems there. Obviously, this is definitely Lib Dem heartland in the south. I mean, it's actually the blue wall, but no, very few people trust the Tories these days. I wonder why. Winchester and Easterley and Basingstoke, Aldershot, as well as Southampton. Not Southampton, Northern Romsey, but anyway, Gosport, Portsmouth, Isle of Wight, and rest is set to return Conservatives, including the rather disdainful Swallow and yeah, Then we move on to the southwest. Greens set to be returned in Bristol Central, Caledonia. And yeah, so the Tories isn't holding on to much of Wiltshire, and in Christchurch, North, and now West Dorset. Labour's sort of coastal area around Bournemouth and Weymouth and all that, and Swanage. Mid Dorset there, Lib Dems, who also set to pick up Cheltenham, Cotswolds South, Chichester, Thornbury and Yate, Bath, Frome and East Somerset, Wells, Glastonbury and Somerton, and those in Honiton, Tiverton and Minehead. Newton Abbot, North Cornwall, St Ives. Of course, I'm not done with the Conservatives. Bridgewater, Exmouth, Torbay, South Devon. Labour in pretty much the rest of this, really. Obviously not in Salisbury, but in Western-super-Mare and the rest of Bristol, and the City of Jacob Rees-Mogg as well. North East Somerset. Much of Devon and Cornwall. Okay. Yes, it seems I got a couple of the seats wrong. Just a couple seats where it was showing Labour before, and those were North West Hampshire and South East Cornwall. So that's the result. It does seem that the Conservatives have regained ground. That's probably support lost by Labour than gained by the Conservatives, because let's be honest, when the polls are showing Reform overtaking the Conservatives, they're not exactly winning out there, are they? It's probably more likely to be vote splitting with the Lib Dems, which I would say, if you want to remove a Conservative candidate, make sure you know who's best placed to remove them. I would recommend stopthetories.vote. Usually I try not to get too biased in these things, but thought I'd probably know I'm on the left of politics, so I don't make an effort to hide it. But anyway, this is the map, and yep, Labour 460, Conservatives 80, Lib Dem 63, SNP 20, DP 7, Sinn Féin 7, Plaid Cymru 3, SDLP 2, Green 2, Independent 2, Reform 1, Alliance 1, UUP 1, and Speaker obviously 1. So if you enjoyed this, maybe think about subscribing, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.